So while I'm waiting for Rylan to get set with his socks, we're going out to seed for this week, and we got to get him set up for next week while I'm gone so he can get the seeding done and we can stay on target. What smell? It's probably my boots. These boots are like
it's this dryer.
No, it's not the dryer. It's not your dryer. It's not the dryer.
It stinks in the
It's probably smells like sweaty farmer work clothes. Now you got 6 or 4 sweaty farmers. It's probably my boots.
Swing the whole house.
Bye, Mama. Love you. Here we go. All right, let's get that bench to 0, Rylan, and then we'll get rolling. All right, Rylan, here's the first thing when we're looking at the schedule, okay? When we're looking at this, we gotta take a lot of things into account. What did we not finish last week, which was Merlot? There's a delay on Merlot, so we have to finish that. I got the seeds for that. Those flats are already ready, okay? So then we can clear this half of the schedule and we don't need to go back to it. Then the next thing we need to figure out is how many plug flats above the bench we need. They're labeled 128s, 72s, and 264s. The 264s are the paper pot. Now, that's something that you haven't been trained in on, and that's what we're gonna concentrate on. But first, we need to get all of these plug flats, so 16, 17, 18, 19 128s, which it looks like we have up there, and 2 72s, and 6 264s. We're gonna label those first, and then we're gonna knock it out. The goal is to get this done as quickly as we can before we get out to do the bed prep, okay? You ready?
Soundstripe.
Morning, Ralph. Good morning.
How are you doing?
What's the scoop on the poop?
That's the scoop on the poop. We have less money now.
Yeah, yeah, that's usually the way it works.
Yeah, it's all offloaded on
Okay.
the pallet there.
All right.
Sure makes it nice to have that pallet jack and bring it right to the end of the vehicle.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
have to
right.
carry it so far. So Salanova up by itself, is that the next one to be harvested?
Yes, that is.
Thought about doing a quick walkthrough.
Doing
Get
a
that
weed
weeded right
Okay,
away.
all right. Why don't you work on that, and then we've got prep to do, but I think today we're gonna catch up.
Okay, good.
So
Always feels
That's the
good to
plan,
catch
yeah.
up. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. So Rylan's catching up on our seeding right here. How you doing, buddy?
Fine.
Is that working out?
Yeah.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, I just sprayed spinosad, which is a biological control for potato beetles and soft-bodied caterpillars. I sprayed the potatoes, I sprayed the eggplant because they were in need of help, and I also sprayed all the brassicas, so the kale, the broccolinis, and cabbages. So spinosad is a bacterium that is basically toxic to soft-bodied insects, namely the nymphs of the Colorado potato beetle, and also to cabbage moths and any kind of moths that lay their eggs at night. So they ingest the leaf with the spinosad bacterium on them, and then it inhibits their digestion, and with a couple of hours they wilt and die. So for all you home gardeners out there, this is what you're looking for. Captain Jack's dead bug. Most of the box stores have them, so that's the deal. Okay, Rylan, now that you got all those done, what we need to do is we need to collect all your seeds for this, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna collect the seeds for this week, and we're gonna collect all the seeds for next week, so that when you need to seed for next week, you're gonna just grab a Ziploc with all your seeds in them that are labeled by variety, and then you know what you have, okay? So let's go in the cooler. Let's spend a little time getting those seeds together, and then we'll come back to the bench. I'll show you the vacuum seeder, give you a little practice with that, and then away you go, okay? Then you're gonna be ready for next week when you need to do this when I'm not here. So usually my mornings, especially seeding, I'm listening to John and Tim at the Bible Project podcast. If you guys want a really in-depth meditation on the Hebrew scripture, check out Bible Project. The Bible is a unified story that leads to Jesus. Check them out. All right, so we're gonna need salanova. We're gonna have to mix some salanovas for you for next week. Cilantro. For next week, we need teddy, which is an herb. I bet teddy's running loose in here. Oh, there she is. You never would have found that. Salanova, butter, and romaine. So you're gonna need lettuce for another farm that we're seeding stuff for. A lot of times we contract with another local farm and we seed all of their flats for the season. That's an extra source of income. The good doctor did an internship here our first year, and we like to help them out. They donate all of their crops to a women's shelter in inner city Chicago. So good stuff. So this is how we organize our seeds. It may not be the best way, but we keep them in the cooler so that they stay cold. That prolongs their viability. Although benifine, which is frisee, is not in the lettuce family, we keep it in the lettuce bin. Okay, and then next week we're gonna need Italco for this week, Pirat, which is a butterhead lettuce, Jericho, that for next week. Here you go. Virtus, we need that. I think we got all the stuff for you for next week, so now we need to find the stuff we need to seed today. Preludio. Oh man, I hope we have enough. We got red ace. Now we need nabishan. Nabishan is a Japanese variety of green onions. It's the best. Mwah. We need this for this today. That's Merlot from last week. All right, we're gonna need these because we need to mix the salanovas for next week. All right, so we're missing it somewhere here. But we need that. Allium. Here they are at the bottom of the barrel. Okay, you ready?
Sure.
Okay, let's go. Ooh, it's steamy. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, Rylan. Okay, see this? This is our line. This is how we mark everything for mixing our salanovas. We need red Batavia, okay? Fill it to the line and put it in this jar here, okay? Now this one. This is green oak leaf. Got that one. Green incised. That goes in. Red Sweet Crisp, my favorite. Green Sweet Crisp. Green butter. And red butter. Okay. Okay, these go back in the cooler. Now you know how to do this, right? We do this to randomize, so it's truly a mix. Shaky, 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 shake it all around. Shaky, 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 don't let it hit the ground. Shaky, 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 shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Ooh, yeah. Rylan's got his seeds for next week. We're gonna clear off this bench. The vacuum plate is set for brassicas, so we're gonna seed those first. it's super important to have clear expectations on what needs to happen on a daily basis. The reason for that is once we have that expectation and everybody knows what to do, we can get it done. As with most things, it takes time and intention to master anything. I think I've gotten a lot better over the years at leading the charge and giving clear instructions. That's something that takes practice, and I've not always been good at it, but I guess the sign of that and that it is getting better is that we're getting stuff done. When you got your hands on the plow, my people, it does you no good to look back. You lose your direction forward. So people, keep your hands on the plow. Plow down, let's get this work done. Rylan, do you copy? Asher, do you copy? Can you divert the irrigation to the west side and turn it on? It's on the east side right now. Divert it to the west side. We got to get some water on these beds. So right now what I'm going to do is set up this irrigation line on these beds that I just ran the rotary plow on, and we're gonna get some water on these beds now that they're manured. I'm gonna take the rotary plow back, set up the power harrow, go down to garden 5 and prep a bed for broccolini. So that'll take some pressure off the guys for next week, and then we'll prep all 3 of these beds after we get them watered in. And then Japanese paper pot, that's 4 beds transplanted off the schedule before lunch. Here we go.
Big load of cucumbers again today because yesterday we had 105 cucumbers.
What do we have today?
I don't know, I'm counting
You're
them
still
right
counting
now.
them? Okay, good job, Hawk. Is that just the Lebanese?
Yep.
Did you get the English yet?
Nope.
Okay, how about the summer squash and zucchinis?
No.
Nope. All right, well, you know what to do. So this garlic bed is what the guys need next week to prep while I'm gone. So we have to get this bed ripped of the garlic, which is perfect timing, so that we can broad fork, manure, and prep this bed in plenty of time before I leave. They'll put out drip lines and lay down fabric and put it in our winter cabbage, which always sells out. That's lunch. Boom, and Chilean red. Working ahead, hopefully you're not working behind. Okay, so after lunch, You and Grandpa are going out on that garlic bed we just ripped. You're gonna pull off all the straw, and then all of that straw is gonna go between the leek beds. I mowed off between the leek beds. Pile it between the leek beds, okay? So that you guys can cultivate those beds next week, and then straw the smaller leeks, okay? Now you don't wanna bury them,
Okay.
understand? Okay? And then I'm gonna prep this bed for the garlic, broad fork and manure. If it needs to be lifted, I'll lift it with the power or the rotary plow, and then run the harrow over it because it's fairly damp because it's been under that straw. So I'll prep it, then next week you guys drip line fabric, okay?
Okay.
And then transplant that. I will highlight that in blue as soon as I go inside for lunch. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take Happy Rich, which is supposed to go in the ground next week. I've already prepped the bed over here, and then I'm gonna take the dibbler, mark out the spacing on the dibbler, run it down, and then I want Hawk and you to start putting that in the ground. We're gonna finish up the day with putting in the red ace, two beds of red ace, where you guys are gonna thin them, the frisee, and also this last bed of gang crops. And you guys are gonna mainly concentrate on cultivation next week. Aside from, we're doing salanova today when Mama gets home, okay? Before you go to your aviation meeting, okay?
Okay.
Got it? Let's do it. Hoo-wee, this is a lot of extra work to do before I leave. I'm happy to do it though, because it's gonna mean that these guys won't have as much pressure next week, and we'll get caught up on cultivation, which we haven't had an opportunity to do. This is, again, the craziest part of our season. Well, one of the craziest parts of our season, because it's the high season where all of our storage crops like garlic start coming in. We have to seed and plant for fall and winter. So especially fall. Winter crops come later, but I'm happy to get these guys ahead because they'll have a much easier time and a relaxed time next week. So I'm giving them a break, but I'm working my tail off so they can chillax. This is the garlic we just pulled out of those beds. This is Enchilium Red. Grandpa needs these carts because he's moving the straw so I can get out there to prep these beds. So I gotta work like the wind to get these banded up, hosed off, and up in the air so they can start to dry. If these guys get wet and they don't dry out fast, they're gonna start to mold. So the idea is to work quickly and effectively to get it done. Okay, so the garlic is up in the barn. We got fans on it to dry it out really fast. I'm going out to prep those beds with the tractor, those 3 beds that we pulled the tarp off, and I lifted the soil with the rotary plow. I'm gonna get those beds prepped, take out the Japanese paper pot transplanter. In the meantime, Ryland's in the barn, and he's getting the dibbler ready for the broccolini that goes on one of the beds over here. We're catching up. We're making great time. These guys are gonna have so much easier time next week when I'm gone, because all they'll have to really concentrate on is seeding and watering and making sure they're out to destroy the weeds. What I'm talking about. Here's the garlic. We got it up. Hawk's helping Ralph with moving the straw off the garlic we just pulled. Ryland is coming over here to grab the broccolini out of the back end of the prop house. He's gonna go out to dibble this bed over here, and then he's gonna grab Hawk and the broccolini and get to work. So Ryland's got that under control. What am I doing? I'm gonna figure it out. Oh yeah, I gotta turn on this irrigation to wet those beds that I just prepped. I'm gonna go check out this other bed. We need one more bed prepped. And while those beds are wetting for the paper pot transplanter, man, those beds need to be perfect for that thing to work properly. If it's working properly, we can bang that out in a matter of an hour and a half with all hands on deck. I'm gonna go find another bed that I can prep to put the other crop in, and then we're gonna be in excellent shape. We still have to get back up on the hill before Heather comes home to string the peppers so that Rylan can prune and strip them so that they continue to produce all season long. That's another thing that we've got about a quarter of the way done, but I wanna get that ready so that when I'm gone, they know exactly what to do. Teamwork makes the dream work, guys. Sometimes you need to lend a helping hand. Had those sprinklers on. This comes from the pump, so that pressure is good, but this one's not good at all. So that means we got to clean the filter. Ooh, that's dirty. And I'm getting soaked. That's getting better. All right, once that pressure equalizes, we'll be ready to rock on that sprinkler again. I've got to manure the bed that we just cleared the straw off of after I broad fork it. Rylan and Hawk are going out to plant the broccolini. Make sure you use the chopstick, okay? Those aren't gonna pop easily because they're not quite ready to go in the ground. So we're gonna move with it anyway. Improvisation, guys, that's the name of the game today. You can turn off those lines where you're transplanting, but the rest of them have to stay on.
Okay, copy that.
Let it rip, boys. Let's get her done. Next. Okay, so we got Didon and Promise, which are our winter cabbage. That was the bed I just got back from. That's prepped. Now the only thing they need to do is drip lines, fabric, and transplant next week on that bed. So the boys are out on the broccolini. It might be a good time for me to go to the bank right now. I don't know what time it is, but before they close. I'm back from the bank. Boys pulled the weeds on the bed that we need to prep. I just broad forked and manured in record time. And now it's time to take out the tractor, prep the seed bed, mark the bed. We may not get it transplanted, but we want to get in the pool. One of the things about the farm here is that we like to work hard, and I know we're pushing it super hard because I want the boys and Grandpa and Heather to have an easier time when I'm away, and they can concentrate on exterminating all the weeds. But we like to have fun too, so we're about to get in the pool after this is done. Okay, bread plus bar. Here I come with your frisee. Boom. Okay, you got it? Okay. So what you're gonna need